Well, friends, the city clock has just struck 1 o'clock, and it's a Saturday. I was going to say 15 months ago and more, most Saturdays at 1 o'clock there would be a music recital here at Mancroft, or on many occasions there would be. For much of the last 15 months, it's not been possible. We did have a few last autumn, but I'm delighted, really delighted, that we can start again. I'm Edward Carter, I'm the vicar here at the church, and it's lovely to be able to welcome you here today to this music recital, and also a welcome to any who are watching us on YouTube, on our live stream, as we live stream this occasion. I'm not here to say anything more by way of detail about today's programme. My colleague Rob Goodrich, who's the Acting Director of Music, is going to do that. But I do want to thank Rob and esteem him for all that he's doing here with our music. And I want to thank our choral scholars, our music scholars, who are here today as well. I'm not going to try and introduce them because Rob will do that as the programme unfolds. I do just want to say that here at Mancroft, we have a particular delight in being able to support music and young people exploring their vocation as musicians, and for some of them, it will lead to a career in music. And we see that as part of our calling, our mission here at the church, to support that and make it possible. I don't think I want to say anything else other than the pandemic COVID lockdown type rules apply, of course, for any of us here in the building. Thank you for wearing your masks. Thank you for being aware of one another and keeping distance. And at the end in particular, it would be tempting to huddle together in a tremendous big huddle, but please can we keep as safe as possible. But welcome, and perhaps we can welcome our talented musicians in the usual way as we begin. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Lovely to see so many people at the recital this lunchtime. I think I recognise a few faces underneath all those masks there. So thank you very much for coming, and I hope you enjoy the recital. You may be wondering who Hutchings is. He's the arranger of the first piece, Were You There? And he was actually a colleague of mine when I was director of music at Framlingham College. He was my assistant, and I've always enjoyed performing this Were You There. There's lots of versions of Were You There, but I've always hung on to this one as my favourite. So I hope you enjoyed that as our starter. And the next two pieces are both by the famous composer Henry Purcell, which Elisa and Angus are going to sing for you. I did forget to ask, actually, whether everybody's got sight of a programme, either by photographing the programme as you came in, or the one that's on the website. I suspect not everybody's got a programme, so what I'll do is I'll tell you what the programme is as we go along. So that was Music for a While by Henry Purcell. Some would say after Henry Purcell, England didn't have a great composer until Benjamin Britten, but that's quite a long time, isn't it, between Henry Purcell and Benjamin Britten. So there we go. There's Music for a While, and the next piece is from the Ode Hymn to St. Celia by Purcell, Wondrous Machine.
Must be forced to yield, must be forced to yield. Must be forced to yield, must be forced to yield. With the unable, with the unable, with the unable to dispute. Though used to conquest, is with the unable to dispute. Wondrous, 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 wondrous machine, to thee the wobbling lute, though used to conquest, must be forced to yield. Must be forced to yield. Must be forced to yield.
The next piece is called Benedictus. It's actually a Benedictus without words. It's played on the violin, and Catherine McCardel is going to play it for us today. Catherine was a choral scholar and is now at the Purcell School, so we're welcoming back Catherine to sing and play this afternoon for you. So there's the combination is violin and organ, so it's basically it's a duet, so it's not just a violin solo. So I've always enjoyed playing this piece. There's not a lot of music. Original music for violin and organ, so this is a fantastic combination, I think. So we need more violin and organ music because there's just not enough of it. So anyway, welcome to Catherine, and I'm hoping my dad's watching this because my dad's a violinist and he's in Cheshire listening to this, and hopefully he's managed to switch on his computer and hasn't got the cat switching it off. The cat Fuzzle, who tends to switch the computer off. So. forgot to mention in my enthusiasm for encouraging more music for violin and organ to tell you who the composer was of that. That was William Lloyd-Webber, who's Andrew and Julian Lloyd-Webber's father. So there we go. Now the next piece is going to be an ensemble piece. I'm going to join the scholars and we're going to sing the 5-part motet O Nata Lux, which is written for the Transfiguration, which I believe is not too far away, on August the 3rd. And so the text, because it's obviously in Latin, O Nata Lux, the text is, O light born of light, Jesus, Redeemer of the world, with loving kindness deign to receive suppliant praise and prayer. Thou who once deigned to be clothed in flesh for the sake of the lost, grant us to be members of thy blessed body. Music by Thomas Tallis. We do have to remember we are in the middle of a city and it's very busy outside. And I was hoping that the musicians might just go for their lunchtime break by now. But so the next piece is going to be sung by Anya and accompanied by her mum Katrina. So welcome, Katrina. And Anya's going to sing The Monk and His Cat by Samuel Barber, the American composer Samuel Barber.
Sky
The next piece is going to be played by Barnaby, who's going to play the French horn. And his piece is called Hunter's Moon by Gilbert Vinter. Hunter's Moon. I wonder if anybody was Googling that whilst Barnaby was performing it. I've played it a few times. I think it's a fairly standard grade 8 piece. I always wondered what Hunter's Moon was. I should have really researched that. But if anybody can find out before the end of the recital, that'd be really great to know what Hunter's Moon is by Gilbert Vinter. So the next piece, Drop, Drop, Slow Tears, originally quite a hymn tune-like anthem by Orlando Gibbons from the late Renaissance period. And here, with a more 20th century twist by Ernest Bullock, which includes the organ and some reharmonizations. And we're joined by our music scholar, Eleanor Hanton, who's going to play the chancel organ for us. And I'm very grateful for all of Ellie's work. She does a fantastic job in lots of different areas of the music, accompanying and helping rehearse different groups and things. And we're going to be wishing Ellie all the very best as she moves on to her Oxford College next term. But she's not gone yet. She's going at the end of September, so we'll have her for a little while yet. So Ellie plus the scholars to sing Drop, Drop, Slow Tears. We should have practiced the bowing routine a little bit more, I think. But they're doing very well. Not everybody knows who the scholars are, so our soprano is Elisa Benassian, and the alto is Anya Wakabi Wood. Have I pronounced that correctly? No. Anya for short. And Barnaby Shaw, I'm quite good with that one. And Angus Murphy Lennox is our baritone. Right. Now the next piece is going to be Elisa, who's going to sing one of her grade 8 pieces. We're going to wish her luck because she's taking it in about a week's time, her grade 8. And this piece is Il mio bel fuoco by Benedetto Marcello. So it's a Baroque piece. The translation, my fire of love, however far or near I might be, never changing, will always be burning for you, dear eyes. That flame which kindled me is so pleased with my soul that it never dies. And if fate entrusts me to you, lovely rays of my beloved sun, my soul will never be able to long for any other light.
Il mio bel fuoco, lontano vicino, che star possio, senza camicia mai tendre, per vocare pupille, adera sempre. Quella fiamma che m'accende, piace tanto all'alma mia, che giammai si estinguerà, si estinguerà, si estinguerà. Piace tanto all'alma mia, che giammai si estinguerà, si estinguerà. Che giammai si estinguerà, si estinguerà, si estinguerà. E se il volto mi ritreva in retibio del sole altra luce non vuole, ne vuole giammai potrà, ne vuole giammai potrà, ne vuole giammai potrà, giammai potrà, ne vuole giammai potrà. Quella fiamma che m'accende, piace tanto all'alma mia, che giammai si estinguerà, si estinguerà, si estinguerà. Piace tanto all'alma mia, che giammai si estinguerà, si estinguerà. Che giammai si estinguerà, si estinguerà, si estinguerà. Quella fiamma, giammai, giammai si
So we're moving to the last two solos now, and we're going to loosen things up now, and we're going to have some music theatre from Anya for short. Far From the Home I Love from Fiddler on the Roof, music by Jerry Bock, followed by I Wonder, which is a jazz piece, which Angus is going to play on the piano, by Matt Christiansen. before we move on to the final item of the recital, I just wanted to ask the audience if anybody has come up with the background to the French horn piece Hunter's Moon. If not, then I'll have to phone a friend. We do have somebody that's. Can you come up to the front and speak into the microphone? The moon after the harvest moon. Great. I'm going deaf in my old age. I'm 6 months older than Edward, you see. A big moon. Great. So I was going to phone a friend, but we don't need to do that because we do have our wonderful audience online. So I know Edward's going to come up and do some thank yous after the next piece, but I just wanted to make my own thank you to the scholars because they are very hardworking and very talented, as you've heard today, and are really at the heart of the great musical tradition at Peter Mancroft. So they work very hard. They're all back in the morning singing Palestrina and a St. Peter's Mass that I wrote for a previous church. They'll be back, and then they've got the afternoon off, so they'll be able to put their feet up and enjoy the sunshine, hopefully, and some of the football, I'm sure, because I know they're all football supporters. No. Now, when I mentioned the football the other day, they said they're not going to be watching the football. And it was the England game, and we drew 0-0 with Scotland, so it wasn't really worth watching anyway. So anyway, we're moving on to the final item. So thank you all very much for coming, and hope you have enjoyed the recital. And we're having the scholars together, plus Catherine's going to sing now, because she sings very beautifully as well as playing the violin very beautifully. So thank you to them all, and obviously to Ellie for playing the organ. So here they are. So we're going to sing Beati Coram Via by Charles Villiers Stanford. Blessed are the undefiled in the way who walk in the way of the Lord.
Hey,
Well, what a treat we've had. It's been absolutely lovely, hasn't it, to hear such talented young musicians performing in such a beautiful way. A huge thank you to all of you. I'm not going to try running through all the names after all the complications Rob came to, but thank you so much. You delight us, actually, with all the music that you make, and it's a privilege for us as a church and as a city community to be I was going to say entertained, but I think uplifted, spiritually uplifted, emotionally uplifted by such a beautiful thing. And of course, we've missed much of this over the last year or more now, so it's a particular delight to hear music live in a church. So thank you, and thank you, Rob, for making today possible as well. We're absolutely delighted with all that you're doing here at the church, but particularly with our young musicians. If you know a young person who has music within them, or who might want more music and to be drawn out from them, do please, if it's appropriate, point them our way. Encourage them. We have choral scholarship vacancies. We have young choristers who are learning their music as well. Indeed, there's opportunities to learn the organ. If you know of a young person, do please encourage them to explore coming here to find out more. I know, Rob, that you'd be delighted, and I know Julian Haggart, my colleague, the organist, would also be delighted to hear from you. On the next 3 Saturdays, 1 o'clock here in the church, we have our 3 organ scholars, each giving a recital in turn, which will be a great delight. Next Saturday, 3rd of July, it's Jamie Robertson. Then on the 10th of July, it's Alice Smith. And then on the 17th of July, it's Eleanor Hampton. So I do hope you'll be back here over these next 3 Saturdays, if you can be, to support those 3 young people as they give their end of year, end of term organ recitals. There are then other varieties of music recital on the 24th of July and then the 28th of August. The end of August, Ollie Neal, a former organ scholar here, is back to give a recital on that Saturday. Now, these recitals are completely free entry. However, if, as you go, you wanted to make a donation, then that would be wonderful, because it helps us plan for future recitals, and indeed to sustain and support our musical work here. I think my colleagues at the back have got a donation bowl. We may not have the tappy machine there at the back, because I think I saw it in the vestry. So I might make a dash for the vestry in a moment and try and get it down to the back, and turn the live stream off as well. If you're watching online, of course, you can't make a donation here, but there are ways of making a donation to the church online as well. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you to our performers today. Maybe we can give them one final round of applause. Thank you.